Good evening, and that was the wrong button to press. It's far too hot here, and so I am hiding in bed and trying to get my audio settings more or less correct. That looks pretty good to me. Of course I can't tell because I haven't actually got my back channel today because I haven't brought my second laptop here. So I'm going to stick my headphones on and just check what the sound coming through the stream sounds like. I wonder if I can do this. Yes, I can, and it's fine. Right. Noise of rattling headphones. Welcome back to Italy. So, where were we? Mute that. Right. So, Queen Joshella is the Queen of Italy. She is 26 years old. She has successfully reclaimed Roma on behalf of her aunt, cousin, something like that, who is now Duchess of Latium. Rapidly before she reclaimed Roma, she also set about building a great library on the grounds that there are all sorts of interesting things you can get from a great library. She has designs on setting everything in motion to found the Holy Roman Empire, though she can't be the first Holy Roman Empress herself because she is Italian. However, her nephew Gianleone has been educated in Germany and has thus turned out German and a genius, and is thus a pretty good candidate for being Holy Roman Emperor. He is also alternately first and second in line to the throne of Italy, depending on how the voting's going this week, and certainly last session they kept bouncing back and forth. So recently Joshella has been slowly stomping her way eastwards through the Slavic pagan territories by holy war, and is now in the position where she could create the Duchy of Pomerania, which is de jure those three counties, of which Joshella controls two. And I had been thinking that she would give the Duchy of Pomerania as a 16th birthday present to young Gianleone. But then I had the thought that it's a coastal duchy. We could set up the first merchant republic on the Baltic. And that would basically give us the Baltic to ourselves, at least initially. So like the Mediterranean is all quite contested. Genoa controls most of the Western Med, which is Genoa's part of Italy, but Amalfi, which is part of the Byzantine Empire, and Venice, which is independent, control a lot of the Eastern Med, including a fair amount of the coasts of Italy. But there's all this territory up here that no one's trading with at all, so maybe it would be worth setting up a merchant republic up there. I think if I'm going to do that, I might want to give them the entire de jure duchy and thus have taken Gdansk as well. This is slightly fiddly because there is a defensive pact against me, but I think the current count of Gdansk is a member of it. So if we were going to do this, we'd have to do it. Oh, he is the only member of it. We would have to do it relatively quickly. Like, we might want to march. We could do it by essentially stomping into his one county and sieging it down quickly with the Apostolic Palace retinue and maybe some local troops from up north and maybe some mercenaries. So the Apostolic Palace retinue will obviously have to march in all the way from I suppose they could come in by sea. I wonder if that would be quicker. It's quite a long way round, by sea. But boats are quite quick compared to people walking. Maybe I could send two separate armies, one of them on foot and one of them by sea, and see which one gets there first. Now, that's probably not quite sensible. It might be a useful fact to know. Is it faster to go round by sea than march across country? So, I kind of feel that despite our already rather high threat, it may be worth going after Gdansk quickly, and then we can set up a merchant republic up there and see how that does. So to do this, I use the Recruit and Honour Guard button, which gives us 1,500 men, fairly cheap in Roma, which is not enough to take Gdansk on its own. Like, he's got 1,500 troops that he can move, and there's also the garrison in each of these places that needs to be defeated in siege. So, like, we probably want 2,500 at least, maybe more if we're going to try to do this quickly. But it would be a start. That's, of course, going to burn half of my money, so I really can't afford any mercenaries. Go on, let's see what happens. So should we send them by sea? If we're going to do that, I should raise my own fleets so that I don't annoy my vassals. Okay, I could raise my own fleets if there were anything like enough of them. That's better. So we'll get that lot up to a more useful place. Namely, Slupsk. So people are leaving the defensive pact already. Yes, my heir keeps flapping. Once he comes of age, this should be a bit less of a problem. Also, I don't want it to be the middle of winter when I try to invade Gdansk, because the supply limit's going to be terrible anyway. Yeah, that's better. So let's wait for that ship to turn up. How's it going? Yeah, I think this is quicker than marching across country. And then the idea is that they land, we declare war, we raise all the troops we can from this area. Oh dear. After the Battle of Slupsk, it has been my duty to inform the families of fallen soldiers of their fate. At night I still see the hatred burning in the eyes of a teenage daughter. I know it is not my fault, but I have destroyed their lives. Right, so she could find a way to stop the feeling of guilt permanently. So that would immediately pass the kingdom to 12-year-old Jan Leone, which is an entertaining possibility. She could become cynical and depressed. Some people are always going to want me dead. Or she could become Roth, stressed and possibly depressed. She's already Roth. So this would just add stressed, which is slightly bad. I mean, I don't really want depressed. Does Joshella think it should have been her and not their brave mother, who died on the fields of Slupsk, where she is about to try to launch into another war? No, I think she's going to go and punch someone, and the someone in question is going to be the Count of Gdansk. There we are. Right. Right. If these pagans would just stop being so damned pagan, there wouldn't be a problem. Would there, Joshua? It's going to take a while before we have decent numbers of troops up here. Okay. Is like she any good? Not really. Okay, Princess Alicia, what is going on? Oh right, yes, that's nothing to worry about, I don't think. There's the issue that her heir Latium is elective and Prince Gregory is popular, so he tends to be elected as heir to lots of things, and if he were to inherit Latium and Sardinia and Corsica, then Latium would become part of Sardinia and Corsica, but I think that won't actually happen. So, right. That fleet can be dismissed. We can wait for our seasick soldiers to recover a bit. What the hell are you up to? You're at Brand. You're defending against a Swedish invasion. Well, that's entertaining. I should keep half an eye on Duke Alberto, because if he manages to get another son, I want to grant him another duchy. Which he hasn't yet, because he's got Gavelkind inheritance, so ideally he would have as many duchies as he has sons in order to break up his rather large territories. And currently he has Milan and Ivrea, and so Ivrea goes to Adriano and Milan goes to Domenico. If he gets another son, then I can create another duchy in his territory, and that will then split off again. Right, those troops are pretty much good. So let us bravely check that does he have a... No, he doesn't have any alliances even. Oh well, this may be easier than I thought. Because there's only one member of that defensive pact. It's him. Hello, we are continuing our Holy War for Pomerania. By marching some troops in there, raising every damn thing we can find. Actually, those may as well be grouped into a single army. That's what can go in there as well. There will presumably be some Neumark troops. Total troops 1.25k. That's not really correct. That's only when those arrive. That lot will also arrive, which will take us up to 3,000 and a bit, which is roughly what the supply limit is, and we can build it. So we should then construct a fort before we go any further, but we can bring in troops from further afield now. That one's already raised. Don't know that they'll all be necessary, but so that lot should only go as far as Slupsk, just in case. Those are planes. Let's make sure that we have something approximating the correct commanders. Stick Dietrich there. Stick a siege leader in there. That was not the correct order for people to arrive in. It really wasn't. That's better, but really very not good. Indeed, one might possibly say catastrophic. Well, let's see how badly it goes. That lot are going to arrive soon. Right, we're holding out. Not now, Josh Eller. Well done. You got away with it, barely. I think that's turned out a tiny amount of war score because because loads of other people joined the war, so even though we defeated basically the entire Gdansk army, that wasn't actually enough to get as much war score, because that's only a small fraction of the alliance that now exists on the other side. So now what we're mostly hoping for is that we can get these sieges out of the way reasonably fast. So you can go in there. I appreciate the fort might not be finished yet. Yes, it is. So then the question is, are there any other troops we can get in a vaguely reasonable time? Let's switch to a sensible view. Pause. So essentially then we could bring in Ivrea's troops from down here if we didn't mind annoying the Duke of Ivrea a bit. Let's see what's the size of the alliance against us. We've got Carol of Lesser Poland. We've got Thing of Greater Poland. And someone completely pointless. I'm basically going, is it worth, if we raise troops in Ivrea, can we get them here? If will they, given it'll take a long time to get them here, will we at that point have the Greater Polish army squishing us anyway? What? Okay, whose troops can we rely on? Well, I've apparently got 7,000 unraised vassal troops. But they are mostly not from Ivrea. Where are they from? Quite a lot from the Ivrean revolt as well, okay. And then a really rather random scattering. Do we just attempt to knock this over as fast as we can and assume we're not going to need the Ivrean or Ivrean revolt or whatever else troops? What are the numbers of these ones like? Tiddly. That's a good 1,000, isn't it? Actually, there, the garrison. Oh, yeah, that's 1,300, 1,100, 823. It's going to be fairly tricky. Fort level 1, fort level 0.8, fort level 3.5. That's going to be a bit of a pain if we're stuck at our current troop numbers. Let's go for pulling out some of our larger and more convenient vassals. In the hope that this will be a fairly quick war. What's our third largest? Is that Latium? 773? Technically no, Tuscany 795. Right, let's raise Tuscany as well. What we'll do is we'll stick Tuscany on a boat, because that boat is convenient, and send the two Ivrean ones by land. We'll see who gets there first. Check that we have got a siege leader. Yes. So, how brave am I? I think we don't assault this one, because we're still recovering from that battle. We probably assault those two, and then we don't assault that one unless it looks like there's some troops bearing down on us. Right, young Princess Ambrosia, who is betrothed to a convenient genius, is currently Italian, but we'd generally like to get ourselves another candidate first emperor or empress, so I think we should find her a good tutor. I think little Jan Leone's tutor is busy. Yes, is already tutoring Barbara, her own daughter, Barbara von Weidensberg, which is a perfectly sensible thing for her to do. So we should see who we can find by way of other good... Oh right, no, I do have to select the child first, do I? Other good candidates. So, Ambrosia. We want someone who is gregarious or diligent, and preferably has a 4 pip thing, education trait. So, Joshella di Mozzetto is a reasonable candidate. Not much else there. Oh, except Drosella Dimont Thingamy is probably not German, is she? I need someone German as well. Adel Trudis. Ooh, I like her. I think Adel Trudis is slightly better than Gottschalk. So Adel Trudis in Würzburg is our current best guess. Best target. I don't think we want to make our first Empress a 4-star Spy Master. Meh. I have slightly too many places I can look for candidates. This is a problem. Yep, no one good there. Now that's the same court as there. Not very good. I have a horrible feeling I could also do this in that level, but maybe they don't have courts, so it's not so useful. Nope. Sorry, this is a rather tedious process. Diligent might be good as well. Like his stats actually. Those are not so good. Meinhardt, Marshal of Verben. Okay, I think he's currently my favourite candidate. I actually would have to use the input focus if I were to do that. Alright, wrong button. No. One more county to check. No. Right. So let us send her to Verben. And remember that Würzburg also has someone good, because I've got plenty more children coming along. Meinhardt, yes, is the candidate I want. He is German, he thus might cause her to become German. Excellent. Off you go. Right, where were we? Joshella is actually at the Siege of Puck. which is going fairly well. Right, there's an army. It doesn't look big enough to threaten us, so we're not going to do anything dangerous just yet. Just going to sit here calmly besieging. Also, like, there's a bunch of Italian armies on their way. The Italian army that's coming by sea will arrive at Bitov, so that should be fine. So I think we're probably going to want to assault the next place. It might be a bit brave. Go on. And we have 843 left. Plus, here come... Okay, going overland is quicker. Peasants have revolted in Neumark. What a stupid place for them to revolt. Like, I've got 3,500 troops about to march into Neumark. I was very surprised by my husband waiting for me in my rooms tonight, surrounded... You're in a tent at a siege outside somewhere near Gdansk. Surrounded by an entire collection of assorted presents. Apparently he just wants to give me his best wishes for the pregnancy. Comforted, health plus 0.75. That mostly wakes up and makes up for being stressed. Oh damn, their movement locked. My husband Dolcebile has really been letting himself go of late. What was once a strong and energetic man has slowly become a weak-willed and sedentary glutton, only excited about his next great feast. Since I'm fat, I can make him like me more. I can use my diplomacy to suggest that he shouldn't do. I could bluntly tell him to eat less, or I could keep myself to myself. I think we will flatter him. Right, don't know if this battle is going to go well because I didn't really prepare for it. So we'll see. Oh, they've stomped in there while I was paying attention to a different battle. That's bad. Okay, that battle's going fine. That battle, less so. And I do have an assault button, but I presume I can't actually assault while I'm in the middle of a battle. Where are my marine reinforcements? They're still in the Straits of Dover. So marching across country is quicker. Useful fact. Oh well, let's see how terribly this goes then. Right, that battle's going alright, but it's not actually relevant to the war. On the other hand, these guys... Can we stick a... Yes, they've already got an organiser. But they're not going to arrive here in time to save that army. I really can't. I mean, to be fair, I'm already stressed out from my battlefield experience. So, do this lot arrive? Oh, this is tricky. So, that army is almost dead. This lot are not really enough to beat that lot. I think we tell this lot to hold in Slupsk and we try to regroup there. Pick up what remains of that army and then march back into Gdansk. Where are you fleeing to? Okay, you're fleeing to Neumark. That's fine. Now, if they're competent, they would charge after us and fight these two. Ah, right, we've got another 786 troops. Before we regrouped. My hope is I have better commanders than them. So by having a well-organised army, my slight shortage of numbers will not be a problem. This may be a bit optimistic. Also, like, we can reinforce while we're on my territory. Slowly. Right, so yeah. In Regency, so we have different commanders anyway. So Gleb, Sylvester and Dietrich are our best three. He obviously should be in the centre. I think we just stomp in and hope we can take them, that our slightly smaller numbers are not enough to harm us. Planes, so there's a good chance that that will work. Bit risky, but oh no, everyone's name begins with an A, we know that. Interesting. So my court chaplain has died. Well, do we have anyone good? Bishop of Aquino is probably alright. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of proselytising to be doing. Indeed, possibly up there to try to get that place Christianised. Right, will this work? Oh now. Alright, we need a new Bishop of Cumae, do we? Well, let's... That's quite expensive. Let's not do that. So, do we stand a chance? They're nicely unbalanced and have much less good commanders, so I think we stand a chance. In particular, we'll break that flank quickly, and then we can take on the centre, which might be enough. My lady, Thorir, random courtier. Looks like I might once brought him in as a commander, but he's not up to that much. Should I spend 50 prestige to call Thorir the Festive? He doesn't look very festive. Oh, I think Thorir the Fair is rather good. Thorir the Fair. Whew, right, that battle we seem to have got away with. So, is that chief part of my war score? No, he is not. Let us see if he is ransomable. I also appear to have the High Chief of Mazovia, who is also not getting me anything. Ooh, yes, we like that much gold. What's going on? Right, assault. Maybe I should wait till we recover from that battle. On the other hand, we don't have very much war score that we need. Let's wait for our morale to be back up to 100%. That is a useful situation to be in. Yeah, I don't think I have better use for her. Right, that's enough war score. That's what's left of the event troops, the 1500 I raised from the Apostolic Palace. Right, so now we have the entire territory of the Duchy of Pomerania. We are also rather blood spattered. Alright, I think Ambrosia's previous tutor must have died, which is why I had to find her another one. Antonio will need one soon. So we have the territory of the duchy. We are even more threatening, though not badly so. And we need to reduce our domain. That's fine. We can do that soon. But we do have a lot of barony level titles, holdings, that we might usefully try to populate with people. Or do we... I'm kind of tempted to say, here, have all the titles in this duchy, work out what you're going to do with it yourself. I mean, I would certainly do that if it were... tempting, but not now. If it were little Gian Leone I was giving it to. Basically, I mean, in theory I could try to find claimants for things over in Germany and then land them with the castles, the baronies over here. Right, Germany's still scary, isn't it? Yes. I really don't want to go to war with Germany if I can avoid it. I mean, I suppose I can even like do this at the county level and pick out individual counties in De Jure. No, that's the wrong button. De Jure, Germany. That was actually, I actually had the right view already. And say, like, can we inherit that into our kingdom? Thinking in particular if there are any women holding counties. The kind of thing that we did to no, there aren't, to get, well, that we are doing to get Havelberg, which is not very helpful because that's not actually De Jure Germany, because her heir is a vassal of Italy. We might be able to pull that trick, but then no, I'm going to I found someone earlier who looked like a good candidate to grant that lot to, because obviously we want to take Italian culture up there. So if I look through my court first, it was someone, a Capua, I think, I found earlier, who looked like a good candidate. Are they in here? Or do I need to invite them in? I'm looking for someone who would make a good first, who is male and would make a decent first doge of sorry, I've lost my words, of Ruthenia from Pomerania. I mean, obviously, ideally, we'd put a Di Spoleto in there, but I don't think we do have a useful Di Spoleto. That's me. I can't use me. Oh yes, it was Aliero who looked like he would make a thoroughly competent. He wants to become a marshal. I'm going to make him a doge. This guy is also Italian. Less good marshal. I think we want someone out there on the boundaries of the not yet empire wants half decent marshal. So I think this guy should be our first doge of Pomerania. So to accomplish this, we first have to grant him the city of Danzig. That makes sure that he is a republican. Then we can grant him a county, because you can't have a duchy until you have a county. County of Danzig and all titles below it. Now that he's a count, we can grant him duchy. No, we don't want to grant him Capua. What? I haven't screwed this up. Oh, we have to create the county, of course. the duchy, of course. The duchy does not yet exist, that's why I can't grant it. So, Duchy of Pomerania cost me 100 gold. I've got 100 gold. Create, yes. Right, now where were we? Now we can grant him Duchy of Pomerania and all the counties under it. And so a bunch of new houses arise to engage in Pomeranian internal politics. Alighiero is now a doge, and Pomerania, have I screwed this up somehow? I think I have. I've accidentally ended up still holding Beethoven. Let's fix that. Right. Pomerania is now a merchant republic. It has, so he holds the duchy, the 3 counties, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 other things. Oh, one of which is his house, isn't it? House de Capua. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And the house, right. So we have correctly granted him all the things. He gets 500 money out of nowhere because he is a brand new merchant republic, and now gets to try to engage in stuff on the edge of my empire. Not empire yet. Yeah, she's got quite a lot of intrigue, but not so much that I want to keep her. Right, young Antonio is now 6 years old. Let's send him to Weinsberg. Who was it we found in Weinsberg? Thought we had someone in Weinsberg. Am I no, I'm confused. It was Würzburg. Sorry. Adaltrudis von Würzburg. Adaltrudis von Dalbon of Würzburg, who looked like a pretty decent candidate. Right, so is there anyone we would like to make a bishop? That's who. Yeah, I should probably have appointed bishops in that place up there. Anyway, let's find some claimants. I'd quite like to try to work out a way to get Thüringen. Probably best done by seeing if there are any claimants on it. Like, he's got a strong claim on Thüringen. He's even got a decent amount of learning. Let's invite him to my court and then nominate him for a bishopric. Meanwhile, this guy is slowly disposing of his spare titles. Right, he has been nominated to that bishopric, and thus will probably get there eventually. I am slightly wondering if I should swap my bishops around, because he's obviously likely to die first. Well, that didn't take long. It only had one member, and they died pretty quickly, apparently. Right, is this guy of any use at all? Why do I have him here? Is it because he has a claim on the Duchy of Mercia? Surely not. Or on the County of Northumbria? Or is it just that he's a convenient... He was a convenient... Oh, he's one of my... Is he actually my commander? He's not currently a commander. Does that mean I have better commanders than him now? No, there he is. He is a commander. So we wanted to land him at some point. Which is why he's currently nominated to a bishopric, despite his appalling learning. Let's swap those around so that... I mean, really, I should appoint my best unlanded commander, because this has the advantage that he can't really leave once they've got a bishopric. So who's my marshal then? Are they even better? My marshal is unlanded and has 21 diplomacy, 21 marshal. My best commander, on the other hand, has 22 martial skill and is also unlanded. Possibly he should become my marshal. Don't know. Maybe I put Elfstan in because I wanted to make sure that I kept one of my organisers. If you're going to do that, surely the organiser you keep is the one with the best martial skill, who is Alois. Right, let's do that. Who can we imprison? Is it still just Duke Alberto? Yes. Still don't want to imprison Duke Alberto. Want to split his inheritance. Have more children, Alberto. Like, Domenico's 3 now. Surely you should be having more children. Yeah, I think we need to be a little bit calm about further expansionism. So, the main tricky thing is I need more de jure German territory. Which is why I've nabbed for myself a claimant on Thuringia, but I don't really have the military strength to take on Germany yet. On the other hand, I have a fair amount of money lying around. Let's make sure we're putting money into some useful things. Oh, I should save up for a university. I mean, an ordinary university there. Oh, we're already building a university. Do you think they stack? Probably they do. We can't get a better monastic school there without more tech. Well, Pozzuoli's a mess, isn't it? No one's been paying any attention to this place at all. Well, 8% of the way through building our great library. Oh, looks like Amalfi and Venice are at war with one another for something. War for the city of Solin. Meanwhile, what's Ivrea up to? Is he still got dealing with a revolt? He is. He's about to crush it, though. King Markvard of Germany is Queen Oda managed to beat him. What? But Queen Oda's feeble. I mean, really feeble. Okay, she's a lot more feeble than she used to be, but still, she somehow managed to win an anti-papal war against Germany, and hence still controls an anti-pope, who is incidentally my cousin. Okay. It's going to take a little while for this place to become adequately defended. Can you see the forts in this view? I don't think so. So he doesn't seem to have started building trade posts yet. Possibly because he doesn't have that much money. Don't know how much trade post costs because I can't build them. I think. Yes. But he can, and I hope will, in due course. So who's he at war with? He's at war. He's taking on an enormous holy war. Up there. I mean, that does make it slightly tempting to just move in on him and try to take Thuringia, but we can't actually do that unless our guy is landed. We don't really want our guy to get... Well, do I have a title I could just hand over? I do currently have a bishopric that's like pretty silly for me to have it in my own possession. I mean, that would turn Thuringia into a theocracy, which would be weird. I mean, the alternative, of course, would be to claim Thuringia and let him become independent, and then get another claim on Thuringia to get him to vassalise him. I mean, like, we've got landed claimants for a few places. No as yet landed claimant to a duchy. So how close am I? I need 19, don't I? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that one's outside. Yes, so I have 13 of the 19 I need. So I do need 6 more counties. So Thuringia gets me 3. At the expense probably of turning them into a theocracy. Anything else lying around I can comfortably claim? I'd like to have a barony title I can grant to this guy. Are there any baronies I can swipe by intrigue? In theory, I can swipe those ones. Every time I've done this, though, I've ended up at war. I really don't want to end up at war with... Oh, he's actually fairly weak at the moment. Because he is about to win that. So I could start a plot, perversely, to revoke Milano from him, or I could start a plot. I could plot to revoke some counties from some of my German vassals. Thing is, that is likely to seriously annoy them. If I want to get a county off anyone else, I really need it either to be a holy war or to have a claim on it. Personally. I can't engage in holy war that far away, except against Muslims, and they've mostly been driven out of Spain now. What's going on there? A random Bogomillis county. Don't think I can do anything about that though. To engage in. I mean, this is all a bit indirect anyway. Maybe I do just grant my claimant a bishopric and accept the slight weirdness that will result. I mean, assuming I can. So I can make him Bishop of Posada, and then that would mean that he was just adequately landed, that if I got him the Duchy of Thuringia, he would stay my vassal. I mean, going to war with Germany seems a dangerous activity, but they are busy, very busy at the moment. Okay, he's winning that one. Maybe I don't try it. Maybe we just let some more time pass. See if we can come up with a better plan. Much nicer to get things to inherit into the kingdom if we possibly can. There's a ledger page about inheritances, isn't there? Is it interesting? No, because it only tells me about things I'm set to inherit, and not about things that my vassals might inherit. And I've got a lot of vassals. I suppose we're really interested in, like, are any of my dukes in line for anything? They're really what I want to know, is like, what are my dukes like second and third in line for, that I could push them up to first with a bit of strategic murdering. Ooh, it would be nice to have an alliance with Croatia after our recent holy war with them. I mean, with her predecessor. Her heretical predecessor. Well, isn't the Duke of Ivrea a heretic? I mean, that looks like it really ought to work. I have this vague feeling it will turn out not to. Possibly because he's at war. Let's wait until he's at peace. Which, given he is currently on 100% war score, should happen fairly soon. Has that been good for my troop numbers? It has. I am now kind of at the point where I could take on Germany if I wanted to. I mean, on the one hand, yes. On the other hand, 4 minutes past midnight. Has he been hiring troops? Yes. So that's going to be bad for his... Goodness, those mercenaries are costing him. I mean, he's got a lot of money, though, so he can last quite some time. Maybe I shouldn't go after him. Let's continue without poking around trying to find interesting inheritances. And going... Ivrea, are you ever going to resolve this war? Oh dear, Alboino's tutor must have died. These are treaties I want to use. So he is sadly right. So Duke Alberto is no longer at war. Do you think we can convert him to Catholicism now? Because, I mean, we do get a yes and a hugely high opinion of me. So I think it's worth a try. But he has refused once already, and I thought once they'd refused once already, they couldn't convert again. But let's try it. Now down in Salerno there's a revolt. Looks like there's a revolt in the Byzantine Empire as well. Isn't weakening the Basileus very much. Let's continue improving the really not very good barony of Pozzuoli and try to turn it into a useful thing. Excellent. Right, so now I think now we probably don't need our Chancellor to be trying to cheer him up, because like he's got plus 80 improved relations, and while he's a bit grumpy about having been asked to convert, he's no longer annoyed about his being a heretic. So we should probably go and send my Chancellor to Tuscany. Try to fix that. Oh, we're short several useful characters. I should go back to here and work out who's next. And right now the Salernian revolt, that's not very useful. Franconia is not bad. Let's give Master of the Hunt to Franconia. That's convenient. Or indeed possible. Okay, maybe it's not. Well, Saxony's alright. Right, all of those are now allocated. Having a dwarf at court is a matter of prestige. Well, maybe I should be looking for one of those then. There are really none of them out there. No, there are some. Why weren't they showing up earlier? I mean, none of them looks a very useful person. But let's invite Alfwin of Hull. Unless these have some actually interesting claims. Alexandretta. No, that's the wrong accent. Oh. I mean, he might even be worth having around. Right, we have a court dwarf. Hurrah! Why is my opinion of him minus 100? Okay, he's just, yeah, utterly different from me in every way. Why did he give me a short reign penalty? Is that just because I haven't been his liege for very long? Because, like, I've been queen for quite some time. You're bent low over your correspondence, struggling to stay focused and to keep your eyes open when your husband, King Docibile, enters. He crosses the room and inspects the correspondence over your shoulders. Perhaps a fresh pair of eyes might prove helpful, dear wife. Don't think I particularly need to be proud and annoy my husband. France is in a bit of a mess, isn't it? I only have a claim on the county of Dax all the way over there. I'm not sure that's very helpful. I mean, I'm not sure invading France is very helpful anyway. So I have a claim on Apulia for someone who's actually landed. Brindisian, which we just gained. Sardes, which is... who knows where that is. No, I don't think we're interested in that one. What will we get from an embargo? 700 gold. 700 gold. Oh, it's tempting. And we get the trade posts out of our territory so that Genoa could occupy them instead. Should we go to war with the Byzantine Empire? For money. As the Byzantine Empire got lots of money that they would throw at my little war. Some. It's kind of tempting. I feel that we should probably be trying to actually do something about, like, getting more land in Germany. But I haven't come up with any clever plans yet. Like, elective successions are pretty hard to exploit. Really, you want to find like weird places where the line of succession goes a long way away. He's in my court. Hang on, have I just selected a... So the county of Passau. Passau is probably not de jure Germany, is it? No, it's de jure Bavaria. That's not helpful. That's all children. Hard to get children to join your court. I mean, the thing is, the direct heir is often closely related to the current holder, and hence relatively tricky to tempt away. So he's heir to a German county. So if we grant him a county somewhere in Italy, I mean, strictly I have a spare county in that I've got Capua, but I'd quite like to keep Capua to myself. Do I mean Capua? No, Napoli. Possible plot power there has gone down a lot. None of these has a possible plot power of over 100, which I don't, which means makes me a bit reluctant to try them. Do we have any direct county vassals? There are stupid ways I can steal their counties. I only got one, which is Provence. I don't really want to steal his county. I do have a revoke title button, but it doesn't work. So it would be a terrible idea. Let's go. What could I get a claim on usefully? Obviously I'd need to shift my Chancellor if I wanted to do that, so we'd have to wait for him to finish his current job. Your husband has received an education in diplomacy like yourself, so he quickly grasps the nuances of the problem as you explain it. The two of you set to work discussing and comparing diplomats. Dolcebile is a most competent diplomat. Within the hour you have laid the groundwork for a promising solution. Brilliant idea, Dolcebile. Have you any additional suggestions which improves our opinion of one another and gets us 50 cultural technology points? Or let us retire to the bedchamber, my dear. Fall in love with Dolcebile. Which, like, probably means yet more children. But, like, increasing the size of the... Are any of our children geniuses yet? No. How many of our children are German? Ambrosia is still Italian. Astore... Oops. What? Oh, I got confused. Astore has become German. Alboino has become German. Antonio has not yet. And Alberic and Anna are not yet in education. How has Ambrosia not become German? Ooh, I don't know which one of these to do. Let's go for the cultural technology points. And admittedly, I probably just want more noble customs there. So he'll be won't be available till December to start fabricating claims on new places. So where was it that I found my potential person? Or I lost them already. Switch to De Jure Kingdom view. Baden, wasn't it? Was it? Yes, that the heir to the county of Baden also has claims on Landeck, and he looks like a really useful person to have, if only we could get him a county, preferably without having to go to war with Germany to get it. Right, because then he'd inherit one. So he's heir to Baden, and he's got claims on Landeck and Innsbruck, both of which are also... Oh no, is that Landeck? Okay, those are in Bavaria, so he's not that useful. But, you have the slight problem that an awful lot of the counties remaining in Germany are theocratic. Close. Right, here's second in line. To an entire duchy. If only we had a spare duchy we could grant him. If we hadn't. Maybe I should actually just keep marching eastwards. Like, keep holy warring the Slavs. Oh right, he's not independent. Oh, he's right, he's part of Greater Poland. Yes, well... I'm kind of going, is there any... The problem is we haven't yet got Great Holy Wars, so anywhere that I Holy War actually has to be adjacent to my territory, which is quite limiting out here. Like, everyone out here is quite weak. We could just take like the whole of Pruthenia, and that would give us a great big pile of titles that we could use for inheriting more titles out of Germany. That's actually A, a good plan, and B, not a plan to be commenced at midnight. So I think next session our plan should be probably, I think Pruthenia is more sensible than Greater Poland. Stomp into Pruthenia, and she's got vassals, hasn't she? Yes, who will have their own troops, they will provide to her. So, like, she's stronger than she looks, but that's still not very strong. So if we get her at the head of our army, she'll be pretty scary. Should recruit her, and no, we can't make her a commander, sadly. So we could stomp into Pruthenia, and that would give us 4 counties and a duchy that we could use for inheritance purposes. So we could almost certainly use that to suck maybe even 4 counties and a duchy out of Germany. And it looks like, in particular, we could get the whole of Angria with 1 carefully positioned murder eventually. We're also waiting for her to die, but that doesn't strictly get us a useful county. And then we can probably find a few counties we can inherit as well by sneakiness. I'm still thinking about whether an embargo war against the Byzantine Empire might be a fun move. I should be saving up to build a university or 2, shouldn't I? Yes. Anyway, I think that's enough for tonight. Are any of those interesting? Sadly, oops, I suspect that Helen Billung. Need to go back through the list again now. Most of those are not obviously interesting. Slightly mad, I have a claim on the High Chieftain of Godjam. I have a claim on the Kingdom of Croatia, but I also have an alliance with the Queen of Croatia, so I probably shouldn't do that. I mean, I have that claim, but I bet that's not useful. No, it's not. Right, anyway, so yes, that will do for tonight, I think. So I will save and quit, and then say good night. Good night.